In this video, we talk the good, the bad, and the ugly. Alright, Warhammer Underworlds, Thorns of the Briar Queen. Really enjoyed painting these minis. I like Warhammer Underworlds. I like the game, which I might talk about in a different video. But the way the minis are, so buying this warband, this is the one that came in the box, but the warbands are like 25, 30 bucks. And you get a themed group of dudes, and they're all sculpted differently. They're individually sculpted. So every single one of these guys is unique. And also the way they did the sculpts, they're not just like, oh, we'll just do a ghost guy. Like for the chain rasps, including the Everhang, who is a named character, but he's also chain rasp in the game. Each one of these was a criminal, and they carry on them the means of their execution. So this guy had this little thing on his neck and beheaded him or something, and then the Everhang is obviously hanged. There's the noose, and there's the theme on the base. We'll talk about the base in a minute. This guy had like an iron mask thing going on. Cool. And this guy, I'm saying he was probably crucified, and there is the nail driven through there. And this guy has this weird thing on his head, but basically there's a screw, and I'm assuming it tightens that, and his skull got crushed. And so that is just really cool that each one of these guys was sculpted like with an individual execution thing. And then in the lore, Varkrov, he was actually the jailer of the Night Vault until he himself was convicted of some crime and thrown in there. So he's got his keys and the candle when he was like chucking the cells and all that. And then the Briar Queen is the big baddie, and she has the briars. And so the models are really fun, and I think having like cool models and fun models mean that your paint jobs are just going to look better because the models themselves are cool. So with them also, they all have these molded bases, which was fun. And yeah, so they were super fun to paint. The cloaks gave me an opportunity to practice wet blending, and there's some easily ghosty stuff you can do. So painting these guys up was super fun. So what did I especially enjoy? Well, again, cool models, cool sculpts. I like the theme of everything. Kind of inspired me to be a little more thematic. So that's like, I did all my rust on my guys, and then I did my oxidized metals. So there's some oxidized copper, and there's some oxidized bronze, and that was fun for myself to do. And yeah, all in all, I thought it was super fun. I loved the models, like how it came out. Pretty good. The bad, not so much bad, but I got to learn with my wet blending. Just in my general highlighting, I think I'm better at my highlighting, but I needed to learn in my wet blending is I got to push the contrast more. The cloaks, I mean, you can see there is highlights, but I think this guy was the one that I pushed the contrast the most. I actually did that through some dry brushing in addition to the wet blending. So I need to not be afraid to go lighter. I think I go as dark as you can go. I could probably go darker on her, but I can go lighter. So I need to start working on that. And I guess that would be the big thing that I would try to do different next time. And all these, I kind of tried to find a medium between going really, I didn't want to go like super fast, but I didn't want to take forever because these guys I want to start playing with immediately. So like right here, I don't even know what that little thing is there on the back. I could have painted that, but I think it's fine. Whatever. I could have put blood on a bunch of stuff, which I might go back and do later, but I want to get these guys to the table. As far as like the ugly goes, some of it, like right here, I did not do a good job cleaning up the minis, so that's a weird looking thing on him. I'm pretty lazy. I didn't fill any of the gaps, which on some of these guys are kind of noticeable. Like on the Queen, the gaps are all like inside, so it's harder to notice them. But on Varklov, he's got a big gap going down through there. This guy right here, I think, it's a pretty noticeable gap right there, which, I don't know. I'm pretty lazy. Maybe I'll do it next time, maybe I won't. The other thing is the bases, the way, like the overall picture is just really great. How they managed to do things like this like the cloud around the spike, and I especially like this one on Barclaw where the ghosty bit's actually coming out of the mouth on the skull. That's really cool. But you'll notice if you spin it, I guess I did a pretty good job on Barclaw, but on some of these guys, I wasn't able to get in and do a really good job of blocking in all the colors on the base, and there's little spots of white that'll kind of jump out at you. Yeah, you can see it a little bit more on the other hand, just because some of these bits, it's so fiddly to get in there and paint it. And I think because I'd never assembled these guys before, and I wanted to actually get playing the game. I just kind of went through it all together. But at least these guys, they went really tight into the base, and I did not feel good about trying to yank them out. I think if I get another, or when I get another Underworlds warband, I will probably, because I have these guys to play with, I'll probably do the bases separately, and then put the actual dudes like on sticky tack probably. That way I can get a good job of getting in on the bases, and then just trying to, because I did a lot of dry brushing, but like I saved that rose to like last, and on some of them you'll notice like there's some red elsewhere on the base, just because it was so hard getting in there and doing those roses. And so I could have done some more cleanup time on that, which again I still might do, but I think I've been painting these guys enough. I'm at that point where I'd like to get done, and I think I'll just actually go and play with it, because again, I'm painting to play. I'm not entering competitions or anything, and they definitely like are good enough for that, more than good enough. I think they actually look pretty good, and they'll be pretty fun on the table, and if I decide to do like a bat rep or something, it'll look cool. So there we go, my recap. I would definitely recommend Warhammer Underworlds to anybody, both from a game perspective, and then also just the miniatures are really fun, and it's nice. Like, I mean, I'm enjoying Kill Team. I'm gonna keep playing Kill Team, but having like buying a warband that like each dude is thematically, like there's a thematic tie, but each one has a really cool sculpt. And like bases, I'm never gonna make a base with like a rope on it, like that hangman's noose, So being able to paint that was pretty fun. So there we go. Thorns of the Briar Queens. My thoughts. Go buy Warhammer Underworlds, paint up some of these guys. It's super fun.
That is how I've been hobbying lately. Please let me know how you've been hobbying lately down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to get daily hobby videos, consider subscribing. If you want a preview of my next painting video, check out my Rumbl. I do the occasional blog post related to the channel over on my Tumblr, and you can also follow me on Instagram.